Hello, my fellow code toasters. Welcome back to Toaster Code. So, you might have seen this email a lot, which says, "Dear applicant, we regret to inform you." That one email that hurt more developers than any breakup ever. And the others, they don't even bother to reject you. They just ghost you like your ex. But at least your ex replied with "seen." So, today I'm building something that won't ghost you, a complete job application tracker REST API. Okay. With this project, we are going to learn the complete REST API. So before we write any single line of code, we need to get this straight. What is REST? So REST stands for Representational State Transfer. Okay, which sounds like something from a Christopher Nolan movie, but it's actually just a design style that tells us how client and server should talk over the internet. Think of REST as a set of rules, like traffic rules. You can go fast, but you still need to stop at red lights. Same with REST. Your API need to follow some standard so it doesn't crash on into chaos. So let's take an example. Let's say you are hungry, so you open Uber Eats or whatever food ordering app you're using, okay, and you ordered a pizza. It's pretty simple. It looks pretty simple, right? You just did few clicks and boom, you got your pizza. But it's not that simple. Behind that order now button, there runs multiple REST APIs which interacts from client to server. Here you are the client or your phone from which you are ordering. That's a client, okay? And the server is the application server which is interacting. Whatever you are clicking the buttons, your click is reaching to that server. Okay, let's say you want to order pizza from Domino's. So that REST API is helping you fetch all the details from Domino's and showing you the menu available in the Domino's. And then REST API is there who is finalizing your order and sending it to Domino's to prepare your order. Or you can understand it like you are at a restaurant, you want a pizza, okay, here you are the client, so you don't go into the kitchen and shout at the chef that hey, I need that pizza. No, you call the waiter and say that one large pepperoni, extra cheese, light on the sauce. Okay, now here waiter is the API, you are the client, waiter is the API, and the waiter takes that request to the kitchen. Here kitchen is the server. Okay, they make the pizza, hand it back to the waiter, and the waiter delivers it to you, hopefully not dropped on the floor. That waiter is REST, a middleman that allows a structured process to make request and deliver response. Said something like this. So here the client, it sends JSON request to REST API. Okay. Then REST API sends HTTP request to the server. Then server returns HTTP request to REST API and REST API returns JSON to the client. This is how the whole interaction works using the API. So you know what is client, you know what is server, you know what is JSON, but what is HTTP? So HTTP mainly has four methods: get, post, put, and delete. Get is the stalker. What is stalker? Mean just checking what already there. Like it used to fetch data, whatever data present in that. Like you are checking Domino's menu on your Uber Eats app. So that is the get request. Okay, your app did a get request to Domino's menu, and whatever present in the Domino's menu, it showed it to you. You don't change anything with the get request. It's like when you visit your ex Instagram just to check. You are not liking, you are not commenting, just waving. Respectful stalking. Then the post. Post is the creator. It's like let me create something new. You are adding a new record there. Okay, let's say you ordered. So your order is going to be a post request that it will be placed in the server that okay, you have this order. It's like applying to a new company and sending your resume. Then we have put. Put is the editor. It's like it helps you update things. It's like let me update what already exists. You are updating the whole object, like sending a follow-up email to change your interview time, or trying to rewrite history with your ex, which sadly doesn't work in real life. Then we have the delete. Delete is the closer. It's like this doesn't belong here anymore. You are deleting a record, like finally removing a company from your tracker after they ghosted you for 3 months, or like deleting her number until you remember it anyway. Now the HTTP sends some status code. Now what are the status code? It's like API's mood swings, you can say. Okay, think of these as emotional response from the server. Like 200, you will get 200 status code when everything is good, like data was found or returned successfully, then you will get status code 200. Then status code 201, it's like created successfully, you have added a new record. Usually after a post, like your job application has been submitted, you get status code 200. Okay, then 400, it's bad request. It's like you messed up, not me. like sending data with a missing field or wrong format, then you will get 400. Then we have 404 not found. It's like it's gone, just like she left you. Okay, you are asking for a resource that doesn't exist in the database or server from where you are fetching. Then we have 500 internal server error. It's like I broke, not your fault, but now everything is on fire. Something went wrong on server, maybe the database is down, maybe you forgot a try catch. There are multiple reasons for internal server error. Now we are talking about request and response, so let's quickly see this request versus response. So request is like you are saying something to API that, hey, I want to post this new job application. Request includes headers, body, parameters, query strings, and there are many more things. The server will return response. It's like API is giving you the response that, hey, cool, here is your status 201 created, here is your saved job. So now you know what REST API is. So let's quickly see what are we going to build in this video. You see these job portals like LinkedIn, Indeed, Naukri, whatever, they are not just pretty buttons and forms. Behind every apply now is a REST API quietly doing heavy liftings, like saving your data, sending emails, updating status, and pretending you are still under consideration. So in this video, you are not just learning REST API, you are learning how to build the kind of backend that runs these real systems. So let's say you apply to your ex startup. Let's say your ex started a new company, a new startup, and you applied in that. So you send your resume, that will be a post request. Okay. Then you open her profile daily to check if she viewed, that will be a get status. Then you send another email to follow up, that will be a put status. Okay, a desperate mode. Then and when she finally deletes your existence, that will be a delete status 410, gone forever. So what are we building today? We will build a full stack backend API. When I'm saying full stack means I'm not including frontend over here. Full stack means we are going to add database to our backend, we are going to deploy our APIs, and we are going to test with the live URL. So we will be making job application tracker. Here we are going, like, you can add a new job, like let's say you applied to Google, okay, for a software engineer role. So we will add a track, okay, for ourselves, that okay, I have applied to Google for a software engineer role, and whatever the status will be applied, resume viewed or ghosted, whatever it is. And for that we are going to use Node.js and Express, MongoDB. Okay, we are using MongoDB Atlas and JWT for secure login. Then we will be using Postman for testing our every routes, and we will deploy it on railway. Here you will be able to add a new job you applied to, update its status, whether applied, interviewed, ghosted, rejected, offer. Okay, then we will filter by you stage, protect all route with auth, like no one can update your job status, no one can delete your job status, or you can't alter anyone else's job status. Now why this video matters? Because this is not just another CRUD project, this is a backend with pain, purpose, and proper structure. If you are serious about learning REST, the kind of REST you will actually use in this real job, this is it. By the end of this video, you will not just know what a REST API is, you will have a one fully built, deployed, and ready to cry with you at 2 a.m. when another HR ghosts you. Alright, enough theory. Let's quickly jump to our VS Code and start building this. Okay, so I am in a folder API. Let's make a project folder here. Okay, let's move to our project folder. Then we will do npm init y. I'm hoping that you guys know basic Node.js, okay, and MongoDB. If not, then no worries, I'm here. So we have set up our project. The basic thing, this is our folder project. We have created a package.json where, so that we can install our npm packages. Now let's install some important npm packages which we are going to use, like npm install. We are going to use Express. We are going to use mongoose to connect MongoDB. Then we are going to use .env, so that we can use environment variables, because you cannot just put your database and other credentials directly to open. Okay, no, never do that. Always write secret credentials in environment file. Then we will use chorus, because this is the piece of shit. Sorry for the language, but chorus is a piece of shit. When you will get chorus error, then you will realize. So never mess with this. All right, we have this here. Now let's add a nodemon, so that we don't have to restart our server after making any changes. Okay, and since nodemon is not any dependency that we can install it like these other packages, okay, nodemon is just for developers ease, okay, the ease of development, so that we will just install it for development purpose. Okay, and how you will install for the development purpose, we will do in npm install save dev. Okay, so that this will be only for development. nodemon, see, this is just the dev dependencies. Okay, it added here. Now here, what is the role of everyone? Express is like web framework for nodejs. Mongoose is odm for mongodb. Then we have .env. .env is for using environment files. Then we have chorus. Chorus is cross origin resource sharing. Okay, that's the full form of it. But it's like when you are interacting with cross origins like front end, back end, or maybe back end database, then you have to use chorus. Then nodemon is like dev tool to auto restart on changes. Okay, this is like getting your api ready with all the tools it needs to go out into the cruel job ghosting world. Okay, so now let's we have our node modules over here, we have package.json. Now let's finalize our folder structure. Folder structure tells a lot about the developer. Folder structure will tell you whether a developer is a new or junior developer or a senior developer. Okay, so let's create a standard folder structure. You should always follow this folder structure. So we will be making controllers. Don't worry, I will explain that what is the role of each folders. Okay, controllers, then we need models, then we need routes, then we need middleware, and we need config. Here we have all the folders. We also need few files like touch server.js, .env, and .getignore. Now let me tell you the uses. So the controller is like logic for each routes. Okay, here we will write the logic for each route. Routes is api. So if we will hit any particular api, then what will happen after hitting that particular api? So that logic we will define in the controllers. Then model is mongodb schema. Here we will write, okay, that how the database is going to look. Then we will write routes is for all api endpoints. Here we will define that what will be the name of the api. Then we have a middleware is for auth or error handling. Then the config is for database configuration or constants we will define over there. And the server.js is the main file. Okay, main logic file is server.js. So let's start with the server.js first. So we will first import some modules like const express equals to express. All right, then we will do const app equals to express, so that we don't have to write express all the time. You can just simply use app now. And to run this application on a specific port, we have to also define the port. Const port equals to, and we will define it in our environment file. Okay, process.env dot port. Let's define it here. Port equals to 5000. All right, and let's also put it by, if by any chance this will not fetch from the port uh, from the environment file, then it can take it from here. Okay, and let's also call .env so that it can help us with environment variables. Okay, now let's use the app. This is for the middleware express.json. All right, now let's make a default route, so that just to check that whether our this setup is working fine or not. app.get request and response, and we will do res.send job tracker API is live. All right, now let's pass this server so that it can listen to a port. App.listen to port, and we'll give just a console.log just to check. All right, now let's see it. Let's add some script to our package.json so that it can help us with testing the application. We will do start node server.js. Okay, and for our development we will use nodemon server.js. We have to change this to our server.js. All right, and I hope this is ready. Let's try npm run dev. Yeah, server is running on port 5000. Let's check it. Let's check whether it is running fine or not. If we will hit localhost 5000, we'll get here job tracker API is live. So now we have got skeleton of our API. It's alive, it's breathing, and it's ready to track all the rejection emails you are about to receive. Okay, so now let's connect our database and start building the APIs. All right, so in this config we will create a file db.js. Here we will write the database configurations. Okay, so we will use mongoose for this. Mongoose, then we will write const connect db equals to a sync function, and here we will write try catch. You should always follow a standard, like this is the standard thing, you have to use try catch. Okay, this is a good practice of writing a good code. We will do const connection equals to await mongoose dot connect, and here we will pass process dot env dot mongo URI. We have to define this in our env file, just the mongo URI. Okay, now from where you will get mongo URI? So for getting the mongo URI, you have to go to your MongoDB dashboard. Okay, like here, this is the MongoDB Atlas dashboard, and here you just go to your clusters, then cluster in the cluster you have, if you don't have any clusters, then create one cluster. Okay, and then once you will go to your cluster, then there will be an option to connect. So if you will click on the connect, here you have an option for drivers. Okay, and here at add your connection string into your application code, here this will be a URI, so just copy this. Okay, just for the security purpose, you should not share this to anyone. So for the same, I'm not sharing it to you. Okay, I mean, while I'm recording, it is there, but while editing I will just remove this part. Okay, and you just copy this. Okay, so just to show you, okay, I have changed it. This is not the original one, I have changed it a lot just to show you. So here you have db password. Okay, this is your username. Okay, and then this will be your password. So just remove this and add your clusters password. Okay, whatever the password you have set up there, so just paste that password over here. Okay, and along with that we also need a jwt secret. What's jwt secret? It's a super secret key. You can use any random thing, or you can like use a simple program to generate a random jwt secret. Okay, so again, this will be a secure thing. We should never share this to anyone. Okay, so again, I'm not going to show you that jwt secret over here. but I'm going to put it. All right, so I have done my port, Mongo URI, JWT secret, environment file configuration done. We will do bring it here. Uh, okay, now this is the this connection is enough. Okay, but let's just write a console log just to see the confirmation that whether it is successfully connected to MongoDB or not. All right, so we'll do console.log MongoDB connected. Okay, now since we have try, so you cannot leave try like this. You have to either add catch or finally. Okay, otherwise it will be an error. Catch will be when there is some error. Okay, so now what is the error? Let's see that. Let's handle the error. Let's add a error connecting MongoDB. Now we can print the error. That what is the error? Error dot message. And if there is an error, then we will exit it with the failure. Okay, the one represents process.exit, one represents exit process with failure. So this is done. Now let's export this module.exports connect db. This is the name of our function. Here mongoose.connect, this connects to MongoDB Atlas using the secret URI which we stored in the .env. Okay, and we use async await function over here so that we can gracefully handle success or failure. And if there is any error, we will log it and kill the app with process.exit1 to avoid running a half broken server. Now let's import this in our server.js. We have config/db. This is where we have connect db. All right, now let's call the connect db function. See, MongoDB connected. We got it over here, and MongoDB is connected now. Now let's create the schema in the for the database so that we can start creating the job. Okay, and we can store the in the database. So for creating a schema, we'll go in the models and we'll create a file of job.js, maybe job.js. Let's create a schema over here. Job schema, new mongoose dot schema, and here we will pass an object. Okay, now what else, what all things we need over here? Name of the company, okay, that where we are applying, the position, whatever position, for whatever position we are applying to that job, then status, whether you have applied, interviewed, ghosted, rejected, offer letter received, whatever it is. Okay, and then we also need a, we will keep a notes just to add any extra note over there. Okay, now the type of company will be string. Then we have to give something as this will be a required thing. You cannot post anything. Okay, if you are adding in the database for any job, applied to any job, then you have to add the name of the company. Okay, this is the most basic requirement over here. So required, and let's also pass a message, true with company name required. All right, so we have the company, then we need position. Position is required. Okay, then after uh, the position we need a status. Okay, so status will be of also type string. Then we will give some options to this. Okay, that you have to select between these. Applied, interviewed, or maybe ghosted. This is the most favorite thing of HRs. Then rejected or offer, and by default we will keep it applied. Then we will give a notes. I think this is enough for the notes. Here we will add a timestamp. Okay, so that whenever we are adding it, we should also show the timestamp that when this record has been created. Now let's export this. Mongoose.model job schema. This will be the name of the collection inside the database. Okay, so let's save this. Now let's create the controllers, the main APIs. Okay, let's create that. So we will go in the controllers, we will create a new file, and it will be job controller.js. Okay, so for this we will need that model. Okay, we just created the model. It is in the model folder, model/job. All right, we have the schema. Now let's create a new job. All right, so for this, const create job equals to async. There will be a request and a response. All right, now let's add the try catch block. This is the most important thing, never forget this. And what we will do, we will just keep it simple. Okay, await job dot create body. Whatever we will receive, okay, we will just create it to the database. Okay, and if we will receive the status 201, we just saw what is 201. Okay, hope you have remembered it. If you haven't, if you forgot it, then just rewind the video. .json, yeah, job. Now let's write the catch block. If we will receive the status 400, okay, then JSON we will pass error. You have to pass here error message. All right, and this create job is done. So what this will do, this will add a new job from a request body to the database. Okay, now since we have added all the jobs, so we also need to see the jobs that we have added. All right, so what we will do, get all jobs will be sorry, this is for get all jobs. Okay, async and request and response, try const jobs equals to await job dot find. These are just MongoDB functions. All right, then request dot, we will check the status 200. If everything is okay, then we will do JSON jobs. But if anything goes wrong, .json server error. Then we will do an update a job. We'll do try const job equals to await job dot find by, we will use find by id and update. Find by id and update. Request dot params dot id. So it's like you have added any job, okay, and let's say your current status is applied, you want to change its status from applied to interviewed. Okay, so you have to update it. Now how you will update it, every job will have a unique id, so you have to pass that unique id, that okay, I want to update this one. Okay, so request dot params dot id, then request dot body, and new is will be true. Find id, update fields, and return new document. Pretty simple. All right, we need a comma over here. Now if there is no job, okay, let's say you added an id, if that is not there, it's not here, it will be here. If there will be no job, then return response dot status 404 that it's not found. Okay, 404.json job not found. Then we'll do 200 json.job. Okay, we will return it, and we will do catch error. Never forget catch when you are writing a try block, or finally whatever you want to use based on the situation. It's not about you, that what you want to use. Page dot status 400. All right, and update job is also done. Now what we else we need, we have create job, get all jobs, and we have update jobs. Now let's create delete jobs. Const job equals to await job dot, again we will use the same thing, find by id. Okay, and here we were updating, here we will delete. Okay, find by id and delete, and we will pass the id request dot params dot id. All right, now again we will put the same thing over here, that if no jobs found, just copy paste it. But here we will pass message. Okay, not the job, that job deleted successfully. All right, now let's write catch. .json server error. All right, now let's export all of these. Get all jobs, then we have update job, then we have delete job. All right, now what we are doing over here, we are just add a new job from request body. Then here job.find will fetch all the jobs that is present in the database. Then the update job, it's like it find by id, then update the field and return a new job. Okay, the updated one. Then delete job will be like it deletes that record, whatever the id you will pass, based on that id, that record will be deleted from the database. And we handle error with try catch block for async safety. Okay, and status code like 201, 200, 404, 500 to keep the rest rules in place. Okay, think of this controller like the waiter we talked about. It takes your request, check the kitchen, where the kitchen will be MongoDB, and returns a nicely plated JSON response. But now we have we have just created the controller. We also have to create the routes when this function is going to be called. Okay, so if you will hit a delete job API, then only this function is going to be called. So let's create the routes. Here we will create a new file that will be jobroutes.js. This is the router that provided by Express itself. Okay, now let's call all the, so from here we have exported all. Now let's import these. Okay, let's copy these. Try here const require controller slash job controller. Now let's define these routes. Router.post, so post request will be sent to create job. When someone will hit this route, the slash, we will call create job. Okay, router.get all jobs. Similarly, router.put /:id. we have to, when we are updating, we have to pass the ID as well, right? Here we will use update job. Okay, now router dot delete. Here also we will pass the ID. Okay, delete job, and let's export this module dot exports router. And I think this is done. Now even I don't know this whether this is done or not. I am doing this live in front of you all. Let's test this. So testing this, we will need a postman. Okay, we are going to use postman. Let's use postman. So let's create a separate collection for this. Let's name it job tracker. Add jobs. So for adding job, we'll have to do post request. And what is the URL? So we are running our server on 5000 port. Okay, so we have to do the same. HTTP colon slash slash localhost colon 5000 slash jobs. Okay, and here if you'll see in the jobs, when we are adding the job, we have to pass the body. Okay, so we will pass the body. What we will pass in the body? In body we will pass the details like company name, position, status, or notes. Okay, so let's pass these. Company, maybe Netflix. Position, backend developer. Status, applied, and notes. What should we add in notes? Maybe referred by my ex. Okay, now let's send this request and see what happens. Oh, we have an error, cannot post slash jobs. Okay, but why? Oh yes, I remember. So the issue is we never added this in our server file, right? We have to add this in our server file. So job routes equals to require route slash job routes. Okay, and then we will use this, and we also have to call the chorus const course. Now here we will define the route. Sorry, app dot use slash jobs will be job routes. Now let's test this in our postman. Hopefully it should run now. Job dot create is not a function. Okay, all right, yeah, my bad. So I'll do this. All right, this I have added the capital C over here. It happens. Typos. Let's check it now. Yes. See, status 201 created. A new resource was created successfully. Let's check the database. Okay. Let's refresh the cluster. We have jobs over here. You see, jobs. See, we just added Netflix backend developer applied referred by my ex. Okay, and here we have added the timestamp as well. Okay, so we have it. Let's try adding another one. Maybe Google software developer referred by friend. Okay, let's try this. Successful. Let's refresh and check. See, This is also added. We have added it. Now let's fetch this. Okay, go over here and we will do get. All right, let's do this and see. 200. Okay, status, and we got both. Google software developer applied, Netflix backend developer. Now we have this ID. Okay, so let's copy this ID and let's try updating this. We will use put jobs. So jobs slash, we will paste the ID over here. Okay, and we have to write here the body, because this is the update. Okay, so what are we going to update? So let's say we have this Netflix over here, so let's change the status. Okay, so let's copy this and we can put this over here. Status interviewed. If you will see over here, currently the status is applied. Okay, so let's update this and see. We have copied the same ID, correct ID, right? uh, let's check again. Yeah, let's do this. Oh, this is not a post, this will be a put, and we will do send and then 200. Okay, see, status interviewed. If let's go to database and check. So currently Netflix is applied. Now let's refresh this. Netflix status interviewed. See, so we just checked, we added, we fetched, and we updated. Now let's try deleting. Let's try deleting this Netflix one. We will do delete. Let's delete the same one. Post, not post, we will delete. All right, and we will just do. Okay, message job deleted successfully. Let's check the database. We will refresh this, and we have just one query result, one of one. This is the only one. Netflix one is deleted. So all our API is working fine. So if you will see, this is the basic, I mean very basic REST API. We just implemented very basic REST API, but this is not done. You are watching this tutorial at Toaster Code, and we don't leave anything at very basic thing. Okay, so currently you have a live MongoDB connection, a fully functional job schema, all the CRUD routes built and tested, and a clean controller based architecture. Okay, this is completely clean code. Okay, that's industry standard, you can say. Not exactly, because there are a lot of things still I have not included, but this is a clean code, you can say. So your backend just went from unemployed to fully job tracked, and it's only getting better. But now here is one issue. Can you guess what is the issue currently? So there is no user. I can update any jobs, I can delete any jobs. Currently I'm running this on localhost, so it's just me who is updating this. But by the end of this project, we are going to deploy it live. Okay, and we are going to test it with the live URL. We will going to test it with the public URL. Anyone can use that API. Then what we'll do? So for that case, we have to add user over here, a user model for registration and login. Okay, we will store the user details like with their email ID and password. Okay, and we will authenticate every routes. Okay, like you, if you are adding a create job, if you are doing the create job, then your create job will be associated with your user ID. That okay, this job has created this, sorry, this user has created this job. And when you will fetch the jobs, you will not get all the job that is present in the database. You will get only that belongs to you. Okay, so we have built the brain of the API, that is CRUD plus MongoDB. Now let's give it a secure gate, because right now anyone can add or delete jobs, even your ex. We don't want that. So what are we going to build over here? We will build a user model for registration and login. Then we will hash the password. Okay, because you cannot store the plain password in database. I mean, you can, but you should never do this. Then we will do authentication using the JWT. Okay, we have already added JWT token in our environment variable. Okay, Then we will create a middleware to protect the routes from unauthenticated access. So for this we need some packages, so we have to install some packages. npm install. We need bcrypt.js for hashing the password. Okay, then we need JSON web token. We need JSON web token to create and verify the access tokens. All right, let's run it. Now first let's create the user model. Then I also need const bcrypt, because when we will store the credentials, we will hash the password. Bcrypt.js, then we'll do const user schema mongoose schema, and again we will create the object, and I need email, type string, then it has to be required. It'll pass a message that email is required. All right, we also have to make it unique. Then I need password, type string, and required password is required. Okay, then we also need a timestamp, so here we can add a timestamp. Now we have to hash the password. Okay, so what we can do is user schema dot pre user schema pre save. This is basically a mongoose hook that hashes the password before saving it to the database. Okay, then we will do a sync function. Async function next. What we will do next, we will check if it's not modified, then we will just return it. This dot is modified password. We'll do return next. Oh, sorry, when I am using return function over here, then we don't need an arrow. Next is a function. Now what we will do, how we will hash it. So for hashing it, we have to add some randomness. Okay, we have to give tell bcrypt that add the randomness. Okay, so that the hashing should be different and a bit complex, so that it will be very hard to guess the password or dehash it. Okay, we'll do const salt equals to await bcrypt dot gensalt, and this is the randomness value. Okay, 10 is like randomness in generating that hashing. We'll do this dot password await bcrypt dot hash this dot password and salt. Okay, this will hash it, and then we will call the next function. Okay, Now let's export this. Okay, so what we did here, we defined a simple schema with email and password. Email should be unique because email means no duplicate users. Here user schema dot pre-save, it's a mongoose hook that hashes the password before it saves to the database. Then bcrypt dot generation salt is gen salt is it adds randomness while hashing the password. Okay, then bcrypt dot hash, this encrypts the password securely. Okay, we don't store raw password. That's like leaving your ATM pin or your Instagram bio. So we have created the user model. Now we have to create auth controller as well, because we have to register and log in as well, right? So let's do auth controller.js. Model slash user. Okay, we need user model, then we need jwt, then we also need bcrypt.js. We also need a .env. Now first we have to do a jwt generator. What is jwt? Basically it's a token system, because whenever a user is logged in, then how you will track that user is logged in? You will pass some token with it, right? That okay, if this is the token, then this is the user, because every token associated with a specific user. So we will do const generate token. We need user id because every token will be associated with a user. User id, return jwt dot sign uh, id, user id, then we will pass the token process dot env dot jwt secret. All right, no, not all right. We have to also pass when it we have to give it that okay, this we are generating a token associated with a user, but this token should expire sometimes, right? So we have to also pass the expiry time. Let's maybe expire in 7 days. 7 days. Now let's write for register. Okay, async request and response, these are the two things we need. And then what we will do, we will take email and password. uh, Email password equals to dot body. Then we will add try catch block. Okay, let's add try. First we will check if the user exists or not, because you cannot register the same email again and again. Okay, so we will check user exists, then await user dot find one. And how you will find? With email. Okay, this user dot find one is basically a MongoDB function. Okay, and if the user exists, then we will simply return the 400. Okay. Status 400 with a message. Email already exists. Okay, but if the user does not exist already, then we have to register the user. And how we will do that? We will do const user equals to, we will create the user, await uh, user dot create, and we will pass email and password. That's why MongoDB is very simple. You don't have to bang your heads. Okay, and that's it. But we have to also generate the token. So we will do const token equals to generate token based on user dot underscore id. Now what is this underscore id? Whenever you will create a user, a id will be created and the name of that field will be underscore id in MongoDB. It's by default. Okay, so we will generate the token with this user id, so that every token is like every token should represent a specific user only. So we'll do, if the user is created, then we will send a 201 request, sorry, status code dot json, and we will do id user dot id. We will send these details that okay, this is created now. We will send email user dot email, and we will also send token. Now let's write the catch block. If any error happened in that case, because errors are meant to be happen, so you can't do anything. So we will send a 500 status 500 json message, and done. The register is done, but we also have to log in, right? You can't, what will you do with only the registration? Login. So we will do const login async request response we need email and password. From body. Okay, now time for try catch block. So let's write the try block first. So first we have to check that whatever the email and password you have provided, if this is valid or not. Okay, so first you will check whether this email exists there or not. So what we will do, we'll do const user equals to await user dot find one with their email. Okay, we will check if the user exists or not, and if there is no user, then we will return this. If the email is there, then we have to match the password, and since we have hashed the password, so we have to now use the bcrypt to compare the password. Okay, so how we will do that? Let's do this. Const is match equals to await bcrypt dot compare. This is a bcrypt function. It will compare the password. It will compare password with user dot password. This password is the one we just received in the body. Okay, and we will compare it with the one that is present in the database. And if it's matched, if uh, let's say if it's not matched, if not is matched, then what we will do? We will just return 400 status 400 dot json invalid email or password. Okay, if not is matched means the password is wrong, because we have already checked for email. It's time for password. Sorry, is match. But if it's matched, then what we will do? We will generate the token with that user ID. Okay, and we will send the details with the status code 200. Whenever you are writing an any API, always send the status code. Okay, this thing shows that okay whether what's the response of the API. Okay, it's like the mandatory thing, you can say. You have to send the status codes. So if the login is successful, then we will send okay 200, everything is okay. ID, user ID, then we need email, user dot email, then we will send token. But let's do the catch. We will send status 500 dot json, and we will pass error message. Always handle errors gracefully. It will help you a lot. Otherwise you will keep on banging your head looking at the code that what is the error, why this is happening. And let's export this. Module.exports register user login user. Boom, this is also done. Now let's see the code once what we did. So first in generate token user ID, we will create a signed JWT with expiry. Okay, signed JWT means associated with user ID. My bad. Yeah, then what's happening here in the register? We check if email exists. Hash happens automatically via pre-save. Okay, then token is generated and returned. That's it. Then in the login, what we are doing, we check if user exists, then compare entered password with hashed ones. Okay, if both matches, generate token and return it. Simple. Now let's create the auth route for this. We have created the auth controller. Now create auth routes. So we will go in the route and we will create a new file, auth routes.js. We need express. And then we need router. Okay, now we need register user and login user. From where? From our auth controller. controller slash auth. We will add router dot post slash register. Here we will the registered user, and we will do router dot post slash login, and we will do login user. All right, now let's export the router. But since this is an auth, okay, so for auth we also have to create the middlewares. Middleware will check if the user has a token, verifies the token, and attaches the attaches the user to request.user for use in protected routes. Because here, if you'll see, we are using, yeah, request.body and all. So for using the request.users, we have to use middleware. Middleware is basically like the bouncer at the club. No ID, no entry. Except instead of asking for your age, it checks your token. So we go to middleware and we will create a file. Require auth.js. We need JSON web token. We also need user model. Now we will write the require auth. Async function. We need a request, a response, and we also need a next. Okay, because if everything goes good, then we have to send it somewhere, right? So we will do const auth header equals to, we need header, we will pass the headers from our API. Okay, intercept that request dot headers dot authorization. We will pass the token, right? So this is a, and if there is no auth headers, or if there is an auth header but it does not starts with bearer. Bearer is like where we pass token, or auth header dot starts with bearer. If this is the case, then we will just return the status 401. Okay, and with the error message not authorized. We will do const token equals to, now if the user is authorized, then what we will do, auth header dot split. We will split the headers because in header there are multiple things. Okay, and we just need token. So we will do try jwt dot verify. We will verify the token with the existing one, process dot env dot jwt secret. We have already added this in our environment file. We'll do request dot user await user dot find. We'll use find by id, and we will use the decoded id. Check if this id is valid or not. Okay, select. All right, Then if this happens, then just move next. Now we have to also give the catch, because errors are immune. Invalid token. Then what we will do, we will do module dot exports require auth. Now basically what is happening here, we are checking if the request has a token or not. Okay, and then we are verifying the token, and then we are attaching it to request.user. If the token is not valid, we will send 401 status. Okay, now we have to plug this our auth routes. We have created our auth routes, so we have to plug this our auth routes in our server.js as well. So what I will do is const auth routes require routes slash auth routes, and we will do here uh, app.use. Now that we have a middleware, so we will use slash API. Okay, slash API slash auth. Here we will do auth routes. Here also we have to add slash API slash jobs. And I guess this is ready. Let's test our register and login if this is working or not. Then we will add this to our job controller. Let's go to our postman and we will create a post request. And we will do register, not register, it will be slash API slash auth slash register. Okay, because if you'll see in our code here, we have added slash API slash auth. Okay, then we have auth routes. Got it? The same way, let's do this. So we have to pass the body raw, and here we will pass email and password. Let's write email okay, test.com. Let's write password. Password at the rate 12345. Okay, this is email, this is password. Let's try doing register. Okay, it says email already exists. Let me check. If I'll go here in the users and okay, yeah, it already exists. It's from some other project. So let's just remove this. Okay, we can try this now. And boom, see, Priyanshu at the rate test.com and token, and this is the ID. We got ID, we got email, we got token. Let's check in our database. If I will refresh, I should get here user. Yeah, we got ID, email, password, created at, updated at. That's the timestamp. Okay, and this is the version we update. Like that's the default thing. And see, the password is hashed. This is not the raw password. This was the password we passed from here in our body, and this is how it's stored. Now let's try login. Okay, so here it will be login, and we will copy the same. Okay, let's check. if this works or not. We'll do body raw and we will paste this and let's check the login. Error, cannot get slash API slash auth slash login. Why? Let's check. Slash API slash auth routes. We'll go to auth routes. We have slash login. It is checking login user. Let's check the controller. You have this login user over here. Let's do one thing. Copy this. And we will just paste it here so that we are not making any spelling mistakes or anything. We have slash register slash login. Let's try it again. Oh man, we are so dumb. No, not we, me. So we are checking errors in our code, but the error is here. We are doing get request. It's a post. Let's do this. And boom. See? Logged in successful. We have got ID, email, and the token. So now that our user can register, login, and get a token, we will make sure that each user can only access their own data. Because let's face it, no one wants someone else snooping on their job rejections. Because only the logged in user should access their own job applications, not others. Okay. Right now, if 5 user uses your API, everyone sees everyone's job. That's like a shared Google sheet of heartbreak. Not cool. Okay. So for that, what we have to do? So first we will go to our models. Okay. In job, we have to add a user over here because every job should be associated with a user, right? So let's add a user over here. The type will be mongoose dot schema dot types of object id. We will not store the entire user details over here. We will just map it with the object id. It's basically stores a reference to the user who created the job entry. Okay. Reference, we will pass reference of user. No, user required true. Got it? What we did over here, type of object id, basically it means that this stores a reference to the user who created the job entry. Reference of user means it tells mongoose this id comes from the user collection. Okay. If you will see in our database here, this is the users collection, right? Now every job in the database is tied to a user. This is like putting your name on your lunchbox in the office fridge. Now we know who owns what. Now we have to attach the logged in user to the new jobs. So what we will do, go to our job controller and in this create job here, currently what we are doing, we are just taking the body, okay, and just creating the job. But now not only this, we have to also pass the user id as well. So we'll do request dot body. Okay, then we will do user of request dot user dot underscore id, and everything else will be same. What we did over here, request dot user dot id, this is like available because our middleware added it from the decoded jwt. Okay, we have added in our middleware. If you'll see here in require auth, this is what we did, right? We added it in the id. So we'll go here. Now we have to also map it to this fetch job as well, because you cannot fetch everyone's, you will fetch only yours. Okay, so here we will pass again the user id, user dot user dot underscore id. Now for update as well, because You should update only yours. So currently we were using find by id and update. So for now, but now we have to use find one and update. Okay, and we will find it by id, but with a different way. Find one and update, and in this we will pass, let's change it a bit, like we will pass the id request dot params dot id. Okay, and we will also pass the user request dot user dot id, and then we will pass body and then the new true. So this is the update jobs. Now we have to also update the delete jobs, because you should only delete yours, not everyone's. So here we were using find one and delete. We have to use find one and delete, find one and delete, and let's do it like this, like id this and user. We'll just copy paste this user. Okay, this find one and update and find one and delete with id and user ensures that only owner can update or delete their job. Even if someone passes your job id manually, it won't work unless they are the one who created it. This is like putting a fingerprint lock on your diary, so you can only change or delete your own stuff. All right, now let's test all our auths. Okay, like register and all. So we have already tested register and login. Now let's check whether we can do this. We can access this API endpoint without user, and I don't think so. Let's try doing this. uh, Body cannot post job. Okay, first we have to update this part. It's slash API slash jobs. Okay, let's do this now. And error, no, not authorized, because we have not provided the token over here. So what we will do, we have registered the user over here, we have logged in. Okay, so let's copy this login token. We will copy this token and we will go here, add jobs, in authorization, in bearer token, and we will pass the token over here. And let's change the body. We don't want to put the same jobs again and again. Let's do maybe meta uh, sg2 referred by unknown. All right, let's do this now, and boom, it's added now. See, let's check the database. Let's refresh this. See, it's added here. Company, meta, position, sg2, status applied, notes by this, and see here user object id. We have added an object id here. Okay, this shows that which user has added this value. Now if we will go here and we will just fetch the data, let's see by fetching the data. We'll go here in the body, uh, raw, oh sorry, we will first change this API slash jobs, and let's try fetching it without passing the token. Let's not pass the token, let's remove the token. All right, we don't have token over here. Let's try this. Not authorized. Let's paste the token and see, we got it. We just registered this user. Okay, this new test email. So, and we added just one job with it. So we are seeing just one job. We are not getting the Google one. Here we have two jobs in our database. You can see here Google software developer, but they both are, see, they both have different object id, because this is added by another user and this is added by another user. And same goes with all other things, like let's copy this id maybe, and let's try updating it. Okay, we'll go here and we will try to update it, and let's update with the same. Let's add the authorization over here, bearer token, and we will do this. What happened? Ah, again this API slash, and it's fine now. Yeah, it's updated. Earlier it was Meta, now it's Netflix. Earlier there was SG2, now it's for backend developer. Earlier it was applied, now it's interviewed. If you'll go here, Meta SG2 applied referred by my unknown. Okay, now what it is? Netflix backend developer interviewed referred by my ex. If you want to delete it, you can delete it. Slash first let's API slash jobs. Okay, and let's copy the object, right? This job ID. Here token is here. Job not found. Uh, why job not found? Let's, maybe the token is old. Let's log in again and get the token, and let's try adding it again. Check. Job deleted. Yes. Uh, might be the token expired. So job is deleted successfully. Let's check the database. If we'll go here and we'll just refresh it, we are going to see just one job. See, just one. Another one deleted. So you have just built a fully authenticated user system, isolated job data per user, secure CRUD operations. This is a real world backend system, clean, secure, and production ready. You cannot view the jobs added by other users. You cannot update the jobs added by other users. You cannot delete other users' job. You cannot see it. You can only manage your jobs. This is a production grade APIs. Okay, so you are not, no, you are no longer building a CRUD app. You are building a backend product, one that respects user, protects data, and follow best practices. But we are not stopping here. As I told you, we are toaster code. Okay, we will take it to the next level. And how? So we will deploy it live on Railway. Currently we are using this local host. We'll not use it local host, we'll deploy it live. Okay, so that you can share this API with your friends, with your family, whoever. Okay, and whoever is like going through this job hunt, you can maybe integrate it with front end as well. Or if you want to make a full stack application, or if you want me to make this in a full stack merge stack application, then just put that in the comment, so that in the next video maybe I can bring it with the full stack, adding the front end as well, so that it will be a good power packed job tracker for everyone. Okay, so for now let's just deploy it. Now how we will deploy it? So we will upload this our code to GitHub. Okay, we will upload our code to GitHub, and from GitHub we will deploy it to Railway. Railway is a free platform, or if not free, at least it gives us credits which will be enough for this application. So before Railway can host our API, it needs to see our code, and no, we don't email it zip files to it. We will push it to GitHub. So let's create the GitHub repository first. I'll go to my GitHub. I'll create a new repository. Maybe job tracker API. Okay, let's create the repository. Now let's go back to I'll do git init. I'll do git remote add
origin. I'll copy this from here. I'll do git. First we have to check in then git ignore that whether we have, no, we have to add here .env and node modules. Okay, always check git ignore first, otherwise now I would have posted the environment file as well on the GitHub, and that's a horrible thing. All right, now let's do git commit. um, Pushing all the changes. It's changes. We will do git push origin main. I have to do git branch hyphen aim main. All right, now we can do git push hyphen u origin main, and done. Let's check this. Yeah, everything is added over here. Now let's go to railway. So this is the UI of railway. You just log in it from your GitHub. I have already logged in. Okay, so just go to this railway.com, and you will see an option to connect your GitHub or log into your GitHub. Okay, and once you will log in over here, you will see over here deploy a new project. Just go to this deploy a new project, deploy from GitHub repo. So first we will do deploy from GitHub, and we have to configure GitHub app. Okay, we will go to our, this is my user ID Priyanshu Dubey. So I'll go here, I'll authenticate it, and here in this configuration panel I will select, you can either give all your repositories access or only selected repositories, and I will select the repository over here, job tracker API. Okay, no, I just want to give this job tracker API, save. Now if I'll go deploy from GitHub repo here, I'll search job. Now here you can see here job tracker API. Just go here. Okay, and we will go to this variables, and we will add the environment variables. Okay, I'll go to my code here. I will copy the environment variables, and I will paste it over here and just update the variables. And see, deployment is in progress. So we will just wait for it to deploy. It will take just a couple of minutes. And it crashed. Why it crashed? We'll go and check here. It shows error connecting MongoDB. The URI parameter to open URI must be a string got undefined. Make sure that first parameter to mongoose.connect or mongoose.create connection is a string. We have added the variables later, so let's redeploy it, and hopefully it will work. Fingers crossed. And here we have deployment successful. You see, now we'll open it. MongoDB connected, server is running on port 5000. We'll go to its now we'll go to the settings. Okay, if you will scroll down over here, then here we have generate domain. Okay, generate domain. So just click on the generate domain so that we will get a public URL for this. Here we have it here. Let's try this one. Okay, and let's try adding a job. maybe. Maybe let's add Amazon or st3 maybe. Let's send it. See, it's added. We just missed here https. Okay, it's added now. 201 created. See, we are not using localhost anymore. This is a public API. If you want to access it, you can access it. I'll leave it open for 3-4 days. Okay, if you want to access it, you can just access it. I'm not charging you anything. So, and you can create your own API, share it with your friends. You can use it the same like way. Like if I'll copy this one over here, I'll go to here to fetch the request. Okay, I'll just paste it here and let's do the send, and boom, see here, we got this. I added another one here, and if I'll do the fetch, I'll get both over here. See, same way you can use the put and all everything. And this right here is your job tracking API, hosted, secured, and fully deployable. Feels good, doesn't it? If you'll see, go to here, you see over here, you'll go to job tracker API, and you can see over here everything is working fine, no issues, nothing. And whenever you will log into railway, you will get a free either 30 days or $5, whichever lasts longer. Okay, and if you'll see over here on your GitHub repo, you will see a production. Yeah, it's deployment to production. Whenever you want to make any changes, just push it to your GitHub and it will be here. Isn't it cool? Right, it's like a pipeline. So we started with a blank folder, then we built a clean, powerful REST API with CRUD operations, full JWT authentication, user-specific protection, MongoDB for data storage, and now we pushed it live to the internet using Railway in under 10 minutes. It doesn't took us even 10 minutes. This isn't just another backend tutorial. This is a full dev pipeline from backend to deployment. The GitHub repo is in the description. The I'll put it in the description. The Postman collection, I will, if you want it, if you want the Postman collection as well, just put that in the comment and I will add the Postman collection in the description as well. And drop a comment if you want me to convert this into a full month stack job tracking application with the front end as well. I will do that as well if you want. So if this helped you, like it, share it with that one friend who still builds everything on localhost, and show them that what you just build. And subscribe, because this is Toaster Code. We don't just write APIs, we give them a job. Okay, and let me know how you like this video in the comment section. Till then, this was Toaster Code. Thank you.